Hello, in this video I would like to tell you about Hystax Acura disaster recovery and backup. You'll get a review of the interface and overview of the major functions and operations to successfully execute a disaster recovery or a backup scenario. Currently you see the root page of the solution. Here is the amount of customers, machines and cloud sites. The list of customers can be seen here and some additional buttons. First thing you should do when you start working with a solution is to connect a target cloud to the solution. For these purposes, here is a Manage Clouds button. Clicking on it, you'll get to the Target Clouds page. On this page, you can add, edit, or delete target clouds. The list of target clouds is over here. When you register a new target cloud, the solution checks it and can perform the necessary operations and replicate machines on it. In my case, one cloud is already connected to the solution. To add a new connection, click Add. First, select a cloud type. It's important because the cloud type influences on the set of basic parameters. Here is a wide variety of supported clouds to which you can replicate. These are proprietary platforms and platforms based on the open source technology. When the cloud type is set, fill out the parameters that will allow the solution to get access to the cloud API and perform operations on the target cloud to replicate machines. Pay attention to the replication storage type field. The way the replicas are stored on the target site makes the difference between a disaster recovery and a backup solution scenario. For the case of a disaster recovery, when the main scenario is the recovery of replicated machines on the target site, it's important that the recovery time is minimal. In this case, when creating a target cloud, select the Cloud Native block storage. In this situation, a replication is carried out to the block device on the target cloud, where new volumes are created. The data is written into these volumes. These volumes and their snapshots are used as recovery points. The machines on the target cloud will be restored from these points. For this type of the storage, the time to rise a virtual machine is minimal and is calculated in minutes. It's very useful and fast. However, it must be taken into account that this type of storage is more expensive compared to storage used for a backup scenario. When implementing a backup scenario, select S3 compatible storage or one of the supported file storages. The script works effectively if you need to restore files or folders. Greater efficiency is achieved through deduplication in the storage system, the ability to store a longer history of recovery points. The downside is that the recovery process of the virtual machines on the target cloud takes longer than the recovery directly from block devices. But quick recovery of files and folders from recovery points is available. Save your connection when finished. The solution checks the access to the target cloud, making sure that it is available and is able to perform all the necessary operations. When it is successfully completed, the connection to the cloud gets to the validated status. To do the next step, let's get back to the Partners page. The next step is to create a customer. A customer is a group of machines that has common target cloud. To create a customer, just click Add. Enter the company name, the contact email, and fill out other fields. Let's take a look closer on the Cloud field. When you click on it, the list of the registered target clouds appears. Select the target cloud to which you want to replicate your machines. When all fields are filled in, save the customer. The created customer will be in the list. Click on it to open the Customers page. Let's take a look at the Machines Group section. It's one of the most important things here. So, what do you see? Machines registered on this customer, their parameters, and machines groups. The replication agent registers the machines after it is installed on the source cloud. The solution adds them to the list. Initially, new machines are in discovered status. The machines on the screen are in protected or parked status. It means that they are already being replicated. Before you start replication, you can configure replication schedules. To do this, just select Edit Replication Schedules in the Actions menu and click Use Custom Replication Schedule Settings. Here, you can select a replication schedule. It might be interval, continuous data protection, daily, weekly, monthly, or an expression. And if you select daily, you can set the time when the replication starts. And for instance, let's take a look at a weekly replication. You can select weekdays, some or one, and also you can set the time. In addition, here is a replication type. It's actually everywhere. Yeah, and you can change it. It might be incremental or full. Incremental is by default, and incremental replication means that only the data that has changed since the last replication will be transferred to the target site. If you want to do periodically full replication, you can set such a schedule by setting the replication type to full, and I would like my weekly replication, let it be full. And click Save when you are done. This action can be performed for a single machine in the Actions menu of the single machine, for a group of machines, here it is, and for the entire customer. You can implement a scenario where you have a certain default schedule at the customer's level, while for a group of critical machines there will be another schedule, more frequent, for example, and for individual machines it will be endless replication. Endless replication means that a new replica will be initiated immediately after the previous replica has ended. Another ability is to edit retention settings. In this policy, you set the number of recovery points that will be stored on the target site, depending on their type, by hours or by count. Or you set the number of recent recovery points as well as the number of daily, weekly, monthly, and annual. This storage policy is especially effective for a backup scenario when replication is taking place to object or file storage. For this scenario, it makes sense to create a deep storage policy and store many recovery points. The storage policy, as well as the replication schedule, can be applied at the level of an individual machine, and at the level of groups of machines, and at the level of customer. Let's take a look at the recovery methods applied to a replicated machine. The simplest, but not the most effective one, is to download machine image. Select a restore point from the list and set links expiration if necessary, and click Generate Links. Links to the volumes of this machine from this recovery point will be generated. Use these links to download a machine image from the target site to the source site and recreate the machine from these images on the source site. Another method is to restore files and folders. This recovery method can be selected both from the main menu and from the list of recovery points of a specific machine. This recovery method allows you to go inside the recovery point and download files or folders. This is equally effective in the case of replication to a block storage, in the case of a disaster recovery scenario, and in the case of replication to object or file storage, in the case of a backup scenario. It's fast and does not require long preparation for recovery. Another ability to recover your data is to recover a virtual machine on the target cloud. To recover, you must prepare a recovery plan. Recovery plans are in the DR Plans section. Click Add. Recovery plan is a scenario that includes a list of recreated machines on the target site. For instance, I would like to add all the machines. And also, here is the machine ID, flavor name, and network information. The script configures virtual machines when restoring from recovery points. The recovery plan is saved to the recovery plan library. Each recovery plan can be used to quickly restore a virtual machine on the target cloud. To restore, select a recovery plan and click Run Recovery. Give the launcher name, and when you're ready, click Run Recover. Finally, you'll get an entity called CloudSite. CloudSite is an executed recovery plan. It's a group of machines launched on the target cloud from the restore points. This method is more useful in a disaster recovery scenario when you replicate your machines to the block devices. In this case, there is no need to migrate machines from some other storage type to block. The recovery process takes some minutes in this case. For a backup scenario, this method is available, but it takes more time. The data will be transmitted to the block storage first. It takes time depending on the size of the machine being restored and on the width of channel between the storage and the target site. How to get back a virtual machine to its source cloud? CloudSite helps with it. The most universal way is to use links to an image of a machine running as a part of a cloud site. Click Download, set links expiration, and generate links. Download the image of the source cloud using these links and deploy it there. If the source site is supported for automated failback, VMware, Flexible Engine, or OpenStack, you can use the automated failback functionality. Download the failback agent to the source cloud and use it to perform replication from the cloud site to source cloud. If neither method is satisfactory, then a reverse migration method is available. Deploy Hystax Acura live migration at the target cloud and perform a reverse migration from the target cloud to the source cloud.